And on one of those afternoons, a friend suggested that why don't you visit Sree Chitra Tirunal Institute, which was a new institute in the same medical college campus.
Right.
So I had nothing better to do, so I asked for an appointment with the director, Dr. Valyathan. I don't know him. And I was given an interview. I was given an appointment. So I met him. I was blown away by the passion and vision of this great man, world famous surgeon who gave up all kinds of things to come back to Kerala, to his homeland, to set up this modern institute for advanced neurosurgery and cardiac surgery. And he told me about his vision for that it's not just about advanced healthcare, but developing the tools and instruments and biomedical devices for a medical industry. So his ultimate vision was that. He said just setting up the hospital is not the idea. The idea is to set up this hospital so that it will feed into a biomedical research campus which will develop and generate these things so that Kerala and India can become a hub for the manufacture of biomedical devices. I was sort of very caught up by that. I mean, something rather.
How long was this interaction?
This was 1 hour.
1 hour.
And then what happened next was interesting. He saw that I was very interested. So he told me, why don't you visit our R&D center it is across the city in Pujapura.
Okay.
So he told me, please go there. And he sent me in their car too. And I met the head of research, who was an equally charismatic and brilliant scientist called Professor A.V. Ramani. I was not the guy who walked out of Ramani's room was not the guy who walked in. In the sense that, in English there's a phrase, epiphany. That was my epiphany. In the sense, for a guy who had no sense of purpose other than doing well in life, some vague thing like that.
Right.
It was suddenly like I was struck by lightning. Yeah. Suddenly it was that now I have discovered my purpose.
Thunderbolt.
This is what I'm going to do. This is what I was born for. I even thought that this is what I was born for. And I came home. I came back to the hospital.
Right.
And then in the evening I went home. My mother was still in the hospital. There was some other aunt who was with her for the night. So I talked to my dad that night. I told him, I'm thinking of this. He just listened, heard me out. And I'm being absolutely honest with you when I tell you that supposing he told me, I don't think what you're thinking is a good idea. I think you should continue in the service. I would have just dropped the idea. I'm being absolutely honest. And all that, I might have tried to reason with him a bit, but I would have, because that was the kind of people we were in those days, in the sense that your father says something like this, you generally listened to that. You followed that advice. But what he told me completely blew me away. He said, we knew you were not interested, that you were not very set. You wanted to become a teacher, you wanted to become an academic. And you wrote the UPSC because that would make us happy. And you wrote it sincerely because you went and prepared, you worked hard, and you got it. So we are happy because, and we are, in Malayalam you say Santushtarana. We are satisfied. We don't want, I don't expect anything more because you made me proud.
Right.
Now whatever you do, we'll support you. So you have my blessings.
Right.
That's all I needed.
Right.
And my next day when I went and talked to a very close friend who was in business, meaning he was a project manager of a KSIDC funded project. And when I told him I'm planning this, he said, are you crazy?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Think about it. Don't be a fool and all that. He gave me very sincere advice. I was really set. Then I went back to Manipur and worked there for some time. And then I asked my chief secretary, I wanted leave to go to Delhi to attend the National Research Development Corporation interview. Because they had asked for offers for taking the blood bag technology from Chitra Institute.
Okay.
So that was done through the NRDC.
Okay.
Under the DSIR. So I asked my chief secretary for leave. And he said, no, Bala, I think you're just emotional. You're come back to Manipur and now you're thinking that, I'm so far away from home. He said all kinds of things. I said, no, sir, you don't get it. I'm very serious about this. And he said, no, you go sleep over, come home in the evening,
Right.
etc. So I just walked out of his office, walked across the road to my batchmate, Pushpender Rai, Vinod Rai's younger brother.
Right.
So I walked to Pushpen's office. He was the secretary to the CM.
Right.
I said, Pushpen, call your PA. So he called his PA. So I said, take a dictation. For personal reasons, I wish to tender my resignation from the Indian Administrative Service. Please relieve me as early as possible. And next day morning, I was back in Mr. Barua, who was the chief secretary. I was back in his office. I gave him the cover. He said, what is this? I said, open it, sir. He opened it. And that's the closest I've come across this thing, when you say his jaw dropped. I've never seen a person whose jaw dropped. But that day, he looked completely stunned. But he acted on it. He said, obviously, you've thought over it. And he forwarded it to Delhi. And that rest is, as they say, history.
So this interview that you are going for is for a...
Because other companies had also put in a bid for the same know-how.
So which company is this, the one that you were talking about?
No, National Research Development Corporation of India is
That's
under
a PSU.
the Department of Science. It's a PSU.
It's a PSU.
So Chitra Tirunal Institute assigns its know-how to the NRDC, who finds a licensee.
You want to interview to become a licensee?
To become a licensee. So I was taking a leap in the dark. I had no assurance I'm going to get it, but I've already given my resignation.
But prior to that, you were thinking you'll apply for leave, go there, see if
thought I
it
will
works
apply
out.
for
Then
leave.
eventually you'll have to resign.
Eventually I would have to resign. That was
yeah.
not a problem. But here I had to quit even before knowing I'm going to get it.
Okay. You couldn't take that technology, or no one could take that technology directly from Sree
No, they
Chitra. It
couldn't.
had to come through
It had to come through. Because that was the arrangement at that time.
Sure. So then you resign.
Then I resigned.
So this meeting that you were talking about, where you say you walk in as one person and you walk out as another. So in that meeting, this person, I believe, is showing you the different technologies on display, medical equipments on display. And does he make a pitch to you saying that I need someone to sell this or this? What exactly is happening there?
So that was very interesting. In fact, he didn't speak very much about the technologies. He spoke about developing indigenous capability to manufacture advanced products. And he said why it is not rocket science, why it is so doable. And his great disappointment that the large companies were not doing this, not willing to take the risk. So he said, what we need are startups, we need new entrepreneurs to come forward. And he was saying, see, for example, he said, that was when it hit me. He said, you can do it. Balagopal, you can do it. I was saying, how can I do it? I'm not even a technical guy. Then he started explaining, you don't have to be a technical guy because you can build the team. And he said, the institute will help you. That's what we are there for. And then you just have to arrange funds. You just have to do what. And then I started thinking like an entrepreneur. I started thinking then, okay, how do I raise money? How do I get the people? And then I was on that track. It's sort of... So he didn't speak about the finer points about the technology.
Yeah.
But he told me, and the vision which he put before me was, see, you may fail. Because he said there's a risk. There's no guarantees in this life. So you may fail. But if you succeed, you become the pioneer. You become the guy who put India on the biomedical devices map. So just imagine that. And I was just sitting back and thinking, and that's all I thought. I didn't think I'm going to make a lot of money. In fact, I never thought about money at that stage.
Right.